Closing in on the Arctic Circle. We're running here. We're probably 20 kilometers north of Eagle Plains. We're running along at 102. No dust. Coming to an end, baby. Wild places. Sitting home early this year, before all this started, I said, I wonder where the front tire will take me this year and what frontier will I see. This is it. This is it. And this is it. Wind there. No guardrails. This would not be advisable when it's wet, because this stuff would be like, I don't know what, but I mean, if going down a hill like this when it was wet and there's a little bit of clay in there, no, not advisable. But today, yep, not bad at all. We come through some spots earlier today on the other side, south of Eagle Plains. And I built a lot of roads in forestry. And Ted was ahead of me, and I could see the heavy silt cloud going up, and underneath me I could feel the washboard. So that meant to me that through the rains the fines had been washing down the road, leaving those little rumble strips, but the fines didn't make their way off the side. It kind of clumped up in spots, and then there were those doughy spots where you could see where the tractor trailer tires were going in. So it had all the classic signs of a poor drain spot that was holding water where the wheel ruts were, and poor sideways drainage to get that stuff running down the road off the side and into the ditch. And it wasn't 30 seconds after that, wow, wow, wow. What a ride that was. You just had to let the bike go, but you got to stay out of that. You know, those wheel ruts were down the center, and they were mucky. And Ted and I were running side by side. See, there's no dust here now, so it's been, the calcium's been down, so it's good. But where it was really bad, we were running side by side. We could pick our lanes, do what we wanted. See cars coming, shift back inside. But when we started hitting that stuff, well, I'm going to tell you, you want to run, one ahead of the other, and you got to get way back because you can't see. The dust will stay in the air for half a kilometer. You can't see anything. So you got to give yourself room. And you got to find that line down the middle, because if you hit those clay, doughy wheel ruts and they shift you off to that shoulder, and that is thick, loose gravel, you get in that, your rear tire starts to lose its ability to find purchase and push you forward. The front tire starts wobbling like a kite, you're going in there. So you got to work that. You got to make those calls as you're coming in this stuff. You got to be able to read the road. You got to read the materials in the road. You got to let, and it comes up to you in your hands. So there's a half a dozen different configurations of materials on these roads as you're coming up through. Like right now I'm on that kind of rumble strip. You just let it do it, let it bounce along. But it's solid and it's dry. Then you're going to find further back the shale pockets sticking up. Then you're going to find a little bit of darker, different material there. Kind of seems like it's, a little more organic look to it than the mineral side. And you want to stay real aware in that stuff because that typically holds water and moisture. So you got to just kind of build your plan when you're doing this stuff. But I'm going to say, of all the, we're probably going to do 465 kilometers in and same thing out. The most challenging thing on this road that I've seen in the conditions that we've traveled is where they're working, where they're doing excavation. And they're running grader piles up and there's a windrow there and they got you crowded over to the side. And they're doing what they got to do, but you're crowded up against it, so now you have half of this. You're trying to avoid that shoulder over there, or depending on what side, and you've got to cross it, and there's just a lot of material and stuff in your way that you don't want in a road for a motorcycle. So that's been the most challenging, that gets your arse puckered. But anyway, you just take your time and work your way through it and let the motorcycle gods do what they want to do.